Okay, green light's good, okay.
All right. Good morning. It is April 12th, 2023, and this is the meeting of the Solid Waste Authority Board. We're going to begin at this time. I'd like to welcome everybody and ask for Sandra for the roll call.
Vice Mayor Sachs.
Here?
Commissioner Marino.
Here.
Commissioner Baxter. Here. Commissioner Barnett. Commissioner Bernard.
Here.
Mayor Weiss.
Here.
Commissioner Woodward.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Pelowitz, if you could do the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
We ask you, God, to bless this meeting of people who earnestly desire to do their work in the best possible way, to benefit those we serve, and to leave to our children a better world. Please give us the wisdom and vision to plan adequately and act correctly to achieve these ends. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda, Mr. Pelowitz?
Yes, we have a revised memo 9A1, the 2022 salary survey final report, which has been provided to you and is in front of you.
Thank you very much. Sandra, do we need a vote on this at
We
this
need
time?
a motion, yes.
Yes, if I could have a motion.
Approve the amended agenda.
Thank you very much. It's Commissioner Weiss and Mayor Weiss, and seconded by Commissioner Marino. Any opposed? Everybody for it? Passes 6-0. Now we're going on number 3. If I could have the minutes of February 8th, 2023. If I could have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it is approved. Everybody, anybody opposed? See that it is approved 6-0. Now going on number 4, in the minutes of the Citizens Advisory Committee, if on April 5th, 2023, we could have a receive and file.
Mayor, or Vice Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to receive and file item 4A and B, the Citizens Advisory Committee, and also the Small Business Advisory Committee minutes.
I have a second by Commissioner Marino. Anybody opposed? Passes 6-0. Now going on to the recommended consent agenda. If I could have a motion on 5A for sole source procurements. I have it from motion by Commissioner Baxter, seconded by Commissioner Marino. Anybody opposed? Receive and file. It passes 6-0. 5A. And going to go on to 5.
It's all consent.
It's all consent? Very good. Then, so for the record, 5A, 5B, 5C, and 5D is all approved, 6-0. Now we're going on to, on page 2, number 6, matters by the public. Anyone wishing to address the board? Is there any cards at this time?
We have no cards.
Very good. No cards. So we're going to move on to public hearing workshop. There are none. Going to move on to 8, old business, and there's none of that, says the clerk. Now we go on to page 3, new business. Executive Director, Mr. Pelowitz, do you have a report for us?
Yes, I do. And good morning, everyone. The last time the Solid Waste Authority did a salary survey was in 2015. Pursuant to that survey, we established the authority's current compensation plan and our COLA merit program, which involves an annual cost of living adjustment based on an index and a merit increase based upon the annual performance review of every employee. So we haven't done this study since 2015. We were scheduled to redo it in 2020, but with COVID, we were unable to complete the study. We got it completed in 2022. And the results of the final report was provided to staff in October of 2022. So I'm going to go over a little summary of the study and some recommendations coming from the study. The study indicated, well, first, the way the study is accomplished is you establish benchmark positions, and then those benchmarks are compared to your peer entities out there. Those peers are identified in the final report, and Palm Beach County was one, and some others around the state. So that's how the study is conducted. Looking at page 2 of 40 of the memo, one of the main conclusions from the study was, first, that our program is sound. There were no critical flaws associated with it. There was also no pay compression identified, which is key. And that's because of the way our system is structured, because we provide a cost of living adjustment, we adjust the pay grades based on that adjustment every year, and then we provide an additional increase to the employees through a merit program that moves them through the grade. And the objective of that was to move a solid performing employee through the grade halfway through the grade in 15 years. So that eliminates that compression at the bottom that you get when you don't do that, or you end up with your long-term employees are all clustered at the bottom, and you hire new employees and they're hired at or around the same rate of pay as your long-term employees. So we solved that problem in 2015, and the good news is the program is sound. So there are no major structural revisions to our pay plan coming out of this study. The same number of grades, the same pay grade width, all of that stays the same. What the study did identify, though, is that at the bottom of our grades, that we were 9.3% below market compared to our peers. That's a problem because it hampers your ability to hire quality employees and to retain quality employees. So that's the main takeaway from the study. Now, the board did approve a 5.39% cost of living adjustment last year, which certainly ate into that significantly, but we're still about 3.9% short of market, not even considering the recent inflationary impacts that we've suffered through the past year. I think we're right around 5.5% year over year right now in core inflation, so that's something that we have to deal with. So I would like the board to consider, as when we get into the budget in June, my one recommendation is to consider this shortfall as part of that budget discussion as it relates to the COLA in June. And that will enable us to, if we can't address it all at once, we can address it over several years. But I think it's something we're going to need to address because we are having some strains in hiring, particularly your trade folks, the drivers, the equipment operators, the mechanics, the welders, those folks. They're difficult to find right now, and we've got ads out, and we have a difficult time finding them. So I think that's one thing, one of the recommendations, and I'll go through them when we get through this. But the main recommendation I have for today, it relates to what's on page 3 of 40, and that is we've identified 13 positions that the study indicated were well below market. And also, most of these positions, the equipment operator 2s, the equipment operator 3s, the tractor trailer operators, the mechanics, the mechanic sweeper operator, and the welders 1 and 2 are positions that we rely on to actually do the work, the real work of the Solid Waste Authority out there, to keep the trucks running, to drive the trucks, to operate the heavy equipment, to maintain that equipment to the highest standards possible. And so my recommendation today is to immediately upgrade those 13 positions, 1 pay grade each, now, so that we can get that done prior to the end of the year. Otherwise, what you do in June, we won't be implementing until October 1. But I would like to see that done now. And if we can do that, that would, I think, help. Is it going to solve the problem entirely? I'm not sure. We are having a really tough time finding equipment operators. I have a call this afternoon with the reentry folks to see if we can access that somehow. I also may be looking at changing some existing positions we're not going to fill and adding a couple of positions in June for entry-level, we'll call it labor, equipment operator, and training positions, so that we can internally train our own equipment operators, so we're not relying on a market out there that may fluctuate. And I mean, it doesn't mean we're always going to have this problem, but it is a problem right now, and we certainly need those folks. So that's that recommendation. Evergreen made a lot of recommendations in their report. A lot of them are standard. We have, if you read the memo, we have policies in place that deal with all of those already. So the balance of my recommendation is to maintain our current program as is identified in the authority's employee handbook. But the one change I would like to make to the merit program is on page 6 of 40. So the way the merit program currently works, we have three categories in which employees will get a merit raise. So if they score between a 3 and a 3.99, it's 2.15% of pay. If they're between a 4 and a 5, it's 2.69% or 25% higher. And if they score between a 2 and a 3, it's 1.61%. What I would like to do is take these three categories and split them into 5. And the main reason I want to do that is because there's a pretty big spread between the 3 and the 3.99, and it is a morale issue at times where employees say, I got a 3.1 and someone else got or I got a 3.9, someone got a 3.1, we're getting the same raise. That's not right. To me, it's not going to affect the cost much, but I think it's a solid benefit from a morale standpoint to provide this increased gradation in the scoring. The authority, absent the years after the Great Recession, the authority has always had a merit program. It's something that we've had going all the way back to the beginning. I know it's kind of unique for government in some senses to do that, but it works very well for us. And so I certainly recommend, wholeheartedly recommend keeping the program, but I think that this minor changes would be beneficial. So with that, I can answer any questions. I have the final report here if you need me to refer to it at all. With that, my recommendations are going to be recommendation 1, which is approve staff recommendation 1A, authorize the executive director to make the pay classification and salary adjustments immediately to employee salaries in the 13 positions identified, with a total budget impact of $258,526 for the remainder of 2023, annual impact of $564,056. To approve staff recommendations 1 and 2 and direct staff to provide alternatives to address the below-market minimums in June as part of the budget discussion. And 3, to approve staff recommendations 3 through 7. So I'm available to answer questions.
Very good, thank you. I believe Commissioner Bernard has a comment or question. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Pavlovich, just one quick question. In regards to the merit on page 6 of 40, how would one employee know the difference between if you scored 3.1 or versus whatever 4.5? How would that person know?
It's not surprising that employees talk. So
Okay.
you would think that they would not share information like that, but they do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Bernard. Any other questions or comments by any of the commissioners? I think what we're going to do at this point is, and I know the staff has recommended, CAC staff has recommended these approvals. I'd like to see a motion to approve 1, 2, and 3. Is that by?
So moved.
Very good. Motion is made by Commissioner Baxter, second by Commissioner Woodward, and we're going to take a vote. All those in favor? Is there anybody opposed? All right. See the record reflect that A1, 2, and 3 is passed 6-0. Thank you, Mr. Pelowitz, and thank you for.
Thank you all very much
We
as
were
well.
able to review it before today's meeting. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, looking on to legal counsel, Mr. Jones, you don't have anything to report?
No new business.
That's always a good sign. Going on to C, Chief Patrick Carroll, you have nothing to report at this time?
Nothing today, thank you.
Very good, thank you. And Director Paul Gonzalez, do you have anything to report on Customer Information Services?
Nothing today.
Very good, thank you, sir. Chief Romana Kari, do you have anything to report?
Nothing today, thank you.
Very good. And Director Mary Beth Morrison on Planning and Environmental Programs?
And no items today. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next page on Chief Paul Dumars, Financial Management Services. Sir, do you have anything to report today, sir?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning,
To
sir.
everyone. I want to present the Equal Business Opportunity Program's annual report for fiscal year 2022. The Equal Business Opportunity Program introduction tells you that in 2014, the SWA Governing Board expressed an interest in its award of contracts to Minority Women Business Enterprises, which is MWBE. In 2016, the National Public Policy Firm was selected to conduct a disparity study for the period from 2009 until 2013. In 2017, a study finding was presented and accepted by the Governing Board for further policy deliberations for a race-conscious and a race-neutral program. In April of 2018, the Governing Board approved administrative reforms and amendments to the Volunteer Small Business Enterprise Program. SWA established a business stakeholder group which met to deliberate on the program elements to ensure that all of the segments of the business populations would have an equitable opportunity to participate in the SWA procurement practice. So in June 20th of 2018, the Governing Board approved the new EBO program and the Economic Inclusion Policy and Procedures, which authorized the SWA to apply race-conscious and race-neutral goals in the contract. We are very proud to release the SWA EBO annual report for the fiscal year 2022, and the period is from October 1, 2021 through to September 30th, 2022. And at this time, I will present Ms. Colleen to give you the report.
Very good. Go ahead.
Good morning,
Good
Madam
morning.
Chair, Governing Board members, and Mayor Wise. I'm Colleen Robbs, the Director of the Equal Business Opportunity Office, and it gives me great pleasure to present our FY 2022 EBO Annual Report. Today, I'll give you an overview of the EBO program and accomplishments for FY 22. The overview will include the mission, policy, highlight our program achievements, talk about informal and formal contracts, awards, and payments. We'll highlight some of our vendors who were awarded in that fiscal year, and talk about our vision for the future. So our mission is to ensure that all segments of the business population, including small, minority, and women-owned local businesses, have a fair chance to participate in SWA's procurement activities. We accomplish these requirements in our mission through educating businesses on who we are and what we do, maintaining an active vendor database, and creating a level playing field so that it encourages businesses to participate in our contract process. Our policy is composed of 48 affirmative procurement initiatives, 12 are administrative reforms, and the others are 36 preferences over 4 different industries: construction, professional services, trade services, and commodities. The policy is designed to remove barriers in doing business with SWA. And so the categories are race and gender neutral and race and gender conscious. And to be eligible for these preferences, you must be a certified SBE and or MWBE and be located in Palm Beach County. To ensure that there are opportunities for SMWBEs, we review all requests from our departments for different types of procurement, small and large. The large ones are formal contracts. And we're seeking availability of certified firms in the different scopes of work that is of need. And if there is availability within those commodity codes, we apply an API in the procurement. We also do contract monitoring. That's to ensure that prime contractors keep their commitment to subs and pay subs, and that's called utilization. And we're responsible for reporting monthly and annually on our program activity. To improve the vendor and contractor experience, we utilize an online portal powered by B2G. It's called the Equal Business Opportunity Management System. It's accessible by any mobile device to a contractor, vendor, or even us. And we use it to do vendor and contract management, outreach, and events management. We also are staffed to our Small Business Advisory Committee. Our success is due to our commitment by our leadership and staff in supporting the EBO program. And we also implement a laser-focused outreach campaign to ensure that small and minority business know what type of opportunities are here with us. We also identify availability of SMWBEs and contract monitoring, as I mentioned earlier. So we had a very successful program year in FY22, and I'll share it with you. So through our outreach and partner engagement, we conducted 35 business outreach events over multiple platforms. Vendor registrations reached 1,203, and of the 1,203, 367 were certified SMWBE firms. We also conducted an annual training for our staff to ensure that they are on top of how we operate the program. So a picture is worth 1,000 words, and so I want to show you what we were doing in FY22. One of our most popular trainings is Transformational Business Tuesday, and this is a monthly business training series where we bring in experts from various industries that help businesses to sharpen their skills and improve their operations. We also record these trainings so that if you happen to have missed the episode or you want to check it out, you can go to our website at swa.org/EBO and look at our video library, and you'll get to see all of the series that we've recorded. One of our signature events is our SWA Business Opportunity Forecast Conference. And this conference is designed to inform attendees of SWA's projects for the upcoming year and connect businesses with SWA PMs, project directors, and gives them an opportunity to introduce themselves and the products and services that they wish to offer SWA. We also hosted an annual SWA Business PowerNet. This event was live, and it's designed and presented to the attendees by industries that are composed of local governmental agencies to build relationships and share information on bid opportunities. Joining us at this event was Palm Beach County, City of West Palm, the School District of Palm Beach County, and the South Florida Water Management District. SWA is one of 9 Palm Beach partners, and we hosted the 16th annual Palm Beach Partners Business Matchmaker Conference and Expo. And the purpose of this conference is to connect businesses with opportunities and recognize outstanding businesses for their achievements. And Hattie Asbury, our outreach specialist, and I were the co-chairs of the conference. The conference provided workshops, expo, a keynote luncheon, one-on-one meetings between businesses and agencies and private construction companies, and a vendor awards program. In partnership with FDOT and the Construction Estimating Institute, CEI, we hosted a construction management development training, free training for certified SMWBEs on marketing, estimating, bonding, financing, project management. The list goes on. They do it in 8 classes. They're all-day classes. As well as we participated in CEI's statewide business expo. To reach diverse markets, we advertise in minority and mainstream media to drive businesses to our website so that they'll learn who we are, what we do, and the types of products and services we purchase. We've marketed in Mia Media, Haiti Open, El Latino, Caribbean Today, Digital Resource, and the Palm Beach Post. Now, let's talk about contract awards achievements. 21 of 62 formal contract awards were to certified SMWBEs. 19 certified SMWBE subcontractors participated in 62 contract awards, and we achieved 57% certified SMWBE participation in formal contract awards. For contract utilization, we achieved 28% certified SMWBE utilization, meaning payments to these firms, in formal contracts, 22% in informal contracts. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the utilization of SMWBEs in contracts. The FY 2022 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report reported total operating expenses for SWA as $308 million. Based on our policy, these expenses are divided and defined as exempt or discretionary. Examples of exempt expenses are depreciation, government, utilities, leases, sole sorts, and contracts prior to the program. On the other hand, discretionary is shown in green, and examples these are competitive procurements available for the application of APIs. So with that said, exempt expenses represented $124.6 million, or 40% of total operating expenses. This chart shows the breakdown of the exempt expenses. This chart shows discretionary expenses representing $183.8 million, or 60% of total operating expenses. And you'll see the breakdown of the various discretionary expenses. We encourage businesses to register as a vendor with us because we want them to be the first to hear about bid opportunities, trainings, and outreach events. However, we require awarded contractors and their subs to register as a vendor, and that is what helps us with our contract monitoring. At the end of FY22, registrations reached 1,203, of which 367 were certified firms. This slide shows you that most certified firms hold multiple types of certifications. And this slide shows you not only the type, but the count of the different types of certifications held by that 367. For FY22, formal contract awards total $21.5 million compared to the previous fiscal year of $13.4. In FY22, certified businesses received $12.3 million, or 57% of total awards, compared to the previous fiscal year of $2.5 million, or 19%. For FY22 total payment summary, SWA paid a total of $108.2 million in formal contracts, compared to the previous fiscal year of $85.5 million. Certified firms received $30 million, or 28% of the total contract payments in FY22, compared to $23.1 or 27% that previous year. For payments to primes in FY22, SWA paid a total of $87.6 million. This was retained by primes in FY22, compared to $71.5 the previous fiscal year. Certified primes received $10.5 million, or 12% in FY22, compared to $9.1 the previous fiscal year. For payments to subs in FY22, primes reported to us that they paid their subcontractors $20.6 million, compared to $14 million the previous fiscal year. Certified firms in FY22 received $19.5 million, and you'll see the previous fiscal year, the majority of the dollars went to the certified firms. Not much went to non-certified firms. For payments to certified primes by ethnicity, of the $10.5 million paid, the greatest share of the dollars went to African American business, 49%, that's in red. SBEs received 34%, Asian Americans 7%, and both Caucasian women and Hispanic Americans received 5%. Looking at subcontractor payments by ethnicity, of the $19.5 paid and reported by primes that they paid their certified subs, the greatest share of the dollars again went to African Americans, 40% in red, Hispanic Americans 38%, SBE and Caucasian women both receive 11%, and Asian Americans 0.3%. Here's the big picture. The chart shows formal and informal contracts. It's across industry and ethnicity. The top chart reports formal contract payments, where we paid out $108.2 million, and of that you'll see the different ethnicities that received $30 million, which were certified SMWBEs, achieving the 28% utilization. For informal contract payments, you'll see we paid out $5.5 million. Of that, 1.2 went to the certified firms, achieving 22% in informal payments. For franchise hauler SMWBE utilization, franchise haulers reported $64 million in total payments. They also reported to have paid their SMWBE subcontractors $13.3 million, which was confirmed by our B2G audit process. Also, you'll see the different haulers there and their level of achievement. Waste Pro achieved 17% in this fiscal year, Waste Management 11%, FCC, they have 2 service areas, 3 and 4, and their level of utilization was 29% and 35% respectively. And the Good Company, which is a certified MBE, we count their participation or payments at 100% on the prime level, $5 million. So what you see is that we achieve SMWBE utilization level of 31% in hauler contracts. Now, we have a couple years to go on these contracts, so we fully expect the haulers will continue to utilize their subcontractors. The operating contract for renewable energy facilities 1 and 2 did not have a contract goal because it was prior to the EBO program. However, Covanta reported to have paid over $500 $100,000 to certified SMWBE subcontractors, also another $4 million to firms that identified themselves as SMWBE but were not eligible under our EBO program policy. So connecting businesses to contracts is what matters most. So we create outreach opportunities where businesses can develop relationships with our SWA staff to understand what we do and how we do it. And here's what our contractors are saying about us. Air Handlers gave a great shout out to Joe McCreary and his team, saying that they were incredible to work with from start to finish. Grid One says that the effective communications and collaborations benefited both parties and ensured smooth operations of SWA facilities. Helena Construction said it was a pleasure to work with the SWA team. PTM Electric says that it was a great experience and they're extremely thankful for this opportunity. RBK Fire Systems says it was an excellent working partnership and they're truly thankful to be a vendor with SWA. West Palm Machining also gave accolades, saying that they were blessed to grow with us and will always be thankful for the support. And lastly, Florida Boat and Nut said that they are grateful to be a vendor and appreciate and enjoy the relationship. From year to year, we strive to do our very best because this is what we love. We love to do and we are passionate about what we do, which is helping businesses to learn our processes, win contracts, and also to be successful in the performance of their contracts. So our goal is to increase the award and utilization of SMWBEs by creating networking, outreach, and unique educational opportunities, provide continuous training to our internal staff and vendors, leverage partnerships with other governmental agencies, nonprofits, businesses to assist our SWA vendors with business development, and work with our leadership to lobby for legislation that supports economic inclusion, and build greater relationships through our community exchange initiative. Our vision is clear, and we know that it will take all of us to clear the pathway for more qualified SMWBEs to participate in our contracting activities. You know and I know SWA is renowned and is a successful environmentally conscious integrated solid waste management system. That's a lot to say, but we hold that title. And there's much more room for SMWBs to help us in our success. We've made great progress. There is more work to do, but we are happy where we are and we look forward to the future. On behalf of the EBO team, I would like to thank you. Also, thank our executive team led by Mr. Pelowitz, our department directors, our staff, the SBAC, for your support and commitment to the EBO program, diversity and inclusion in our business practices. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Robs. I appreciate your passion and your achievements. We have a question by Mayor Weiss. You're recognized.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you for the presentation, and looks like you're moving in the right direction. But you talked a little bit about your ability you audit the payment to the subs. Can you explain how that process works and how you verify that, in fact, that it does actually occur?
Sure. Thank you for that question. The way it occurs is, as I mentioned, all of the awarded contractors are registered in our system, and we set up a contract. So when we pay the prime contractor acknowledges, receives an email, says, yes, we did get that payment. And then they enter into our B2G system who they paid, subcontractor 123. Subcontractor 123 receives an email saying that the prime says that they have paid you X amount. and then the subcontractor confirms that amount, if it's correct. If it's not correct, then they send back a notification saying that there is a discrepancy. And so I have a contract compliance specialist that is on hand to help the two parties to reconcile until they agree.
How often does that happen where there is a discrepancy? Is that?
It really isn't often, and if it is, it's minor, because what happens is it's just the timing of the payments, and so it's just a matter of them documenting invoice number, amount, and then it's done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Now, Commissioner Baxter, you are recognized.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me now? Several questions, if you would bear with me. We're still digging into things a little bit. So you had said in 2018 there was a disparity study that had done that I guess said this was something that was deemed necessary going forward to have certified and non-certified vendors. Is that the understanding?
So just a little clarification. The program started in 2018, and it gave, the policy gave the authority the wherewithal to set goals and contracts that are race neutral or race conscious based on availability. So that's what we do.
Were there, I guess, barriers, complaints at that time? Were there problems that had, I guess, deemed this necessary?
Yeah, basically the consultant completed the study, and through statistical analysis and anecdotal collection of information, determined that when looking at all of our procurement, were there opportunities to do business with smaller minority firms?
I guess what I'm asking, because I'm always in favor of small business and, minority-owned business, I'm just, I guess, asking what prompted the initial start of the program.
Well, disparity is prompted when the governmental entity has an interest in the award of contracts. So the governing board itself decided that I want to know how we award contracts, who we award contracts to, and where these firms are located.
Okay. And so I did notice within these you had listed amounts awarded, I guess dollar amounts, but it didn't actually say the overall contract amount, like how many contracts were awarded versus not. So could, for instance, one large contract for a very large amount take up the majority of the amount awarded to a certified versus non-certified vendor?
That is possible.
So is there a way next time where we could get actual how many contracts were awarded in addition to amounts, just for perspective on this?
Yes.
That would be greatly appreciated. And then also, the last thing I had, so I did notice if we are trying to target minority-owned business, there seemed to be a lack of a Hispanic minority-owned businesses seem to be at the lower end of this. So I would just ask if we're going to advertise, maybe we could even target some more minority media within La Guia News or something to help bring up the numbers of the Hispanic-owned businesses as well. And try to, if we're going to reach for that goal, I think that could be something we might look at.
Thank you so much.
Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments? I have one question, if I may. Do you ever use CareerSource as a way to bring in new employees?
That would be me.
Oh, okay, Dan, thanks.
We do. We also advertise locally with the county and also through the online recruitment tools that are available. So we do all of that.
Good, CareerSource, as well as with our schools, because I
Yeah,
know they
we
reach
are,
out to schools.
We haven't really worked directly with the schools so much, but we are, like I said, we are seeking to work with the reentry folks soon, and we're
Good.
also looking for other sources of employees through other training programs and things like that. And we're also in a conversation with Palm Beach State right now.
Excellent.
Like I talked about, we talked about potentially training our own equipment operators. They're in a position to possibly provide a trainer to us under contract that we could use to do that as well.
Be excellent. That's why we hire local and work local.
Well, that's the objective.
That's right. Thank you so much, Mr. Pelowitz. And Commissioner Bernard, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one comment to Mr. Pelowitz. If it's possible, can we eventually, if you're able to schedule a meeting with Colleen and all of the commissioners, there may be some different opportunities that different commissioners may want to weigh in terms of different outreach. And so in that way, like each district can help with some of the outreach.
Absolutely, we'll do that. We'll
Thank
schedule a meeting
Excellent.
as soon as we can with each of your offices. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And Commissioner Marino.
Thank you. Mr. Pelowitz, the Boys and Girls Club was in my office yesterday. They're trying to get some internships for some of their kids and whatnot. I didn't know if you offered internships. Don't even know if it would be something doable, but there are people who are looking for internships. So if that is something that is possible, it's another avenue for you.
We have from time to time, and we will certainly take a look at it. If you can, your office can shoot me a contact, we'll make that
Excellent.
contact.
Thank you.
This is the way things happen, isn't it? And Commissioner Baxter, you're recognized.
One last, one comment and question. So, and building on that, they also have, I recently did my flight program tour, which is basically transitioning out of foster care, and they're looking for programs, maybe the equipment operator training type programs for those students or now newly adults, let's say, to potentially enter into. So I'd like to just keep that in mind when moving forward. That'd be amazing. I think it'd be a huge help to the community and all involved. As we know, a lot of those are victims of human trafficking. So I think just giving them a direction forward would help. And I guess my last question really was back to this and how, I guess, contract are awarded. I look forward to that meeting and digging in a little more. So how often do we redo the study to see if we are meeting those goals and if it is still a necessity?
So we're required to redo it after 5 years. So we are in the process right now of developing the request for proposals that's going to go out to ultimately hire a consultant to come back and do the study again.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Pelowitz, I wonder if we could have a report, it could be a written report or at the next meeting, as to the outreach into some of these issues that came up today, to have a follow-up, the Boys and Girls Club, Career Source, as well as to the Latino community. And that way we can sort of keep abreast, because Ms. Robb has a lot of passion for this, and I know that if we can assist that in any way, it would be to everybody's benefit. Thank you so much, Ms. Robb. Do you think we could have that, Mr. Pelowitz?
Yes, I'll have Ms. Robbs provide a report on her area, and I'll provide an update on the human resources side as it relates to hiring as well.
Very good. Thank you so much. Okay. Moving right along.
Madam Chair, can I
Yes.
do a motion to receive and file?
Yes, thank you. And we got that by Commissioner Bernard, seconded by the mayor. Anybody opposed? It passes 6-0. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dumars, Chief Dumars, for that report. Are there any other scheduled matters for the board to consider?
No.
None at this time. Any comments by General Counsel?
No comments.
Very good. Any comments by anybody on staff?
Yes, I'd like to call your attention to something we're working on right now. I think we've talked in the past a little bit about the issue of fires as in solid waste management. Many of you know or may know that there was a significant fire at the waste-to-energy plant in Miami-Dade County. The damage was so significant, I'm not sure that it's even going to be able to be reopened. I don't know what the cause of it was, and I don't know that it was related to these lithium-ion batteries that I've talked about repeatedly. We have had several small fires in our pit at the waste-energy plant. We also had a fire in one of our trailers on the way back from Belglade last week. I don't know whether that was caused by these batteries or not, but these batteries are a significant problem because when they get damaged, they get very hot and they burn hot for a long time. So I've asked staff to put together a program. My goal is to develop a sticker that can go on every one of our garbage carts in the unincorporated area on the top of it that reminds people not to put rechargeable batteries in the garbage. We're in the process of doing that. We're also developing literature and posters as well. The problem is not going to get any better because batteries are in everything. They're even in the greeting cards, the ones you open up and they play music. They're in everything. So it's something that we've tried softer approach to solve this problem, but I think having a reminder on the cart every time someone throws something in it will go a long way to make sure that those batteries don't go in there. We encourage people to bring them to our home chemical drop-off centers. We encourage people to take them to the big box stores that have the collection containers out in front or in their stores. But those lithium-ion batteries, putting them in the garbage or putting them in a recycling bin is not what we want to do. And I know several commissioners have put our messages on their newsletters, and we really appreciate you doing that. It's something we really need to remind people of because these garbage trucks are expensive. They're $350,000, pushing $400,000 now. You don't want to lose a garbage truck, and we don't need fires in our facilities either. So we are upgrading our firefighting capacity at the REFs, the renewable energy facilities, so that we're in a better shape in the event these happen. But I hate to, clutter up people's garbage carts with a sticker, but I just think it's something we need to do.
It's very important. Commissioner Bernard, you're recognized.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Mayor Weiss.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Pelowitz. A couple things in response. Is there any way to get more convenient drop-off locations? Is there a possibility to partner with somebody like a Publix or a CVS or a Walgreens or something because, as you say, they're in a lot of different devices and, coming out to the drop-off locations. And the other thing would be, are you working with the municipalities in regards to stickers as well on their containers? Because I know I live in a municipality and I think it's really important. Over 55% of our population is in municipalities.
Yes, we will make whatever we come up with available to all of the municipalities, and we will supply them. So it's important to us, and it needs to be a countywide effort to get this under control. Thank you for that.
Mr. Pelowitz, is it possible that we could have a bin, and this is just an idea because I didn't realize there's a lot of batteries and everything. With toddlers, there's a battery in every toy that we buy for a kid. It's got a battery in it, and I didn't even realize that those little cards that you open up, there's a battery in there that makes it, I thought it was just magic all this time, magic by Hallmark. No idea there's a battery. So something to think about, if we could have maybe a bin that would be designated only for batteries and things that are because a lot of folks are going to not want to drive someplace to drop things off. So I think what Mayor Weiss said, reach out to Publix or to CVS or these places that they could drop things off there, or possibly one day we could have a bin specifically for these types of materials. anyway, something to think about, because there's going to be more, like you said, there's going to be more, not less, in the coming future, and it is dangerous.
Yeah, we'll reach out and try to see if we can develop some partnerships with some other folks. I don't think it would ever be cost effective to have a separate bin at everybody's house, but certainly I think we can try to expand the opportunities for, or the locations where these products can be dropped off.
Sure.
It's
Thank you, sir.
important. Thank you.
Commissioner Baxter, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I love the idea of a bin, but I think the cost effectiveness, and just another idea to elaborate on that one, maybe if we could have a designated, maybe a number or somebody working with people they can call and say, maybe have them come pick it up. Now, I know we couldn't just randomly do that all the time, but maybe set up some kind of schedule, or even maybe a special colored bag to put outside the bin that would say, these are batteries versus, the cost of providing everyone with bins. Just some ideas.
Yeah, thank you. We'll take a look at all the available options
Good
to make sure
thought.
that we have an effective program.
Commissioner Woodward, you're recognized.
Thank you. What do you do with the batteries now? How are they disposed of?
We have a vendor that they're given to or sold. We pay to have them taken away. So our household hazardous waste program, Home Chemical Recycling Center, they collect them, and then we have vendors who deal with those, as well as the fluorescent light bulbs and the electronics and the pool chemicals and pesticides and motor oil and everything else. It's really a big program. Patrick Carroll's the Chief Operating Officer. It's his area of responsibility. Patrick, if you have anything to add, just...
No, Dan, I think you covered it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a big operation we have. We've got the main facility up here. We've got locations at all of our transfer stations. They're unmanned at most facilities. We have the manned facility up here, and we have the one down at Southwest County at the Southwest County Transfer Station on 441 north of Atlantic. So we encourage everyone to use these facilities. We have a lot of repeat customers, the mayor being one of them.
That's interesting. Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, it's real easy. Everything is really labeled well. You can drive in there. You'll see where to put everything. And it's free to the public, to residents. We do have a certified exempt small quantity generator program for small businesses that pay. But other than that, we encourage everyone to keep this stuff out of the solid waste stream and bring it to us, and we'll take care of it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pelowitz. Commissioner Marino, you're recognized.
Just a ha-ha from Christmas. I was saving all of my batteries, the little batteries, the AAAs and the AA's, because, all of the Christmas lights are on timers and whatnot. And I called Mr. Pelowitz and I said, I have a bag of these. He goes, no, you can put those in your regular trash. So I think if you want to repeat it again, what can go in the trash and what needs to not go in the trash?
Sure, those alkaline batteries can go in the trash. They are not a concern. They used to be a concern because back 25, 30 years ago, there was a lot of mercury in them. And so keeping that out of the waste stream was really important, particularly when you have a waste energy plant and you're burning them. But that excess mercury has all been removed from them now. It's not in there anymore, so you can put those in the garbage. It's the rechargeables are the ones that we're concerned about.
Very good.
That's in everything. I've got a lawnmower that's battery powered now. So they're putting them in everything, and they're putting them in bigger tools and bigger equipment. And, I know the technology may change in a couple of years. So they're trying to move away from lithium ion to I think, sodium ion, which may not have this problem. But we're going to have to get through it now. And I appreciate all of your support. And again, we'll take a look at everything that's possible, and we'll bring you an update.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pelowitz. Commissioner Woodward, you're recognized. Just want to say thank you.
Sorry.
Right. That's okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Pelowitz. We're moving on. Now, we're going to have any comments by the board. And we're going to start to my left with Commissioner Bernard.
None, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Baxter.
Would you like to cover appointments under comments as well?
Appointments?
Sure.
board.
Sure.
Why not? This is a good time to do it. Go right ahead.
Thank you. I would like to appoint Sarah Perez to the, my Small Business Advisory Board.
Very good. Do we need a motion to approve that? I think we probably do.
You don't really need to. It's her
Okay.
personal appointment.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Marino.
Do we have any update on High Point?
So, High Point has paid their taxes and they have paid the rent. They are due on May 10th to provide us with letters from financial institutions indicating that they are financing the project and supporting the project. And they're also required by May 10th to provide evidence that they've submitted all of their permit applications that are necessary to construct the project. Under the board's direction, if they fail to do that, they would be in default and the lease would be terminated. I guess my question on that is, if that does not happen, do you want me to bring it to the board to make the final decision?
Well, our next board meeting
Is
is
in
in
June.
June.
Right.
And I think, may I continue? I think we would need to be notified immediately if they are in default.
We will do that.
Okay, so noted. Very good. Anything else, Commissioner Marino?
I'm good, thank you.
Very good. Commissioner Woodward, any
No
comments?
comments.
All right, Mayor Weiss?
No comments.
Very good. And I have no comment, except thank you very much for the very good report, Mr. Dumars. And I think this, if there's nothing else, this concludes the April 12th, 2023 meeting of the Solid Waste Authority. The next meeting is going to be on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m., same place, same time. Thank you so much. Everybody stay safe. Bye-bye.